everyone, welcome to my video. Welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. If you've just found my channel, welcome. My name is Eliza and I'm happy to see you here. Today we've got a massive book haul video. As you can see, all the books behind me. These are books that I have gathered through November/December to now we're in February. But before we get into the book haul, grab yourself a drink, get cozy, and let's jump straight into the video. So I'm not going to go in a particular order. I'm just going to tell you basically how I acquired this book, where I got it from, and what it's about, and whether I've read it yet or not. So most of these books are books that I have been gifted, books that I got for Christmas, books that I got for Valentine's Day, books that I have acquired myself through a bookshop, books that I have gotten through a coffee with a bookseller experience, and books that I have found in charity shops and all different other bookstores. So we're going to start off with this one, which I was gifted for Christmas by my sister. She gave me 3 books for Christmas, and one of them is called The Enchanted April by Elizabeth von Arnim. I will read you the back of it. A discreet advertisement in the Times lures 4 very different women away from dismal British weather to San Salvatore, a castle high above a bay on the sunny Italian Riviera. There the Mediterranean spirit stirs the souls of Mrs. Arbuthnot, Mrs. Wilkins, Lady Caroline Dester and Mrs. Fisher, and remarkable changes occur. So this is supposed to be a funny, sumptuous and invigorating vacation for the mind and the soul. Refreshing, charming and romantic. Very excited to find out more about this author. I've never read any of her books, and seeing that she is a very classic novelist and writer. Yes. Put this on that side. Next is a book I was gifted by one of my book club besties for Christmas, and it's One Last Stop, and I have read that one and I had the best time ever. I believe I gave this 4 stars. This is a sapphic romance which takes place in a very modern setting in New York, I believe, from what I remember. Is it? Yes, New York. We have a main female character who works in a pancake shop, and she keeps seeing this other girl on the tube, on the train, the underground, what is it, the subway, every single day at the same time, and she starts kind of suspecting different things and wondering, why is this girl wearing the same outfit all the time, and why is she always there? And then she starts seeing her in places where it wouldn't make sense for her to get to so quickly. There is a paranormal aspect to it and some sort of mystery, and it keeps you wanting to actually guess and find out who is this girl and what is going on. Very good, happy ending, and I definitely recommend that if you want a little romantic palate cleanser that isn't always the knight on the horse and this damsel in distress kind of vibe. Then we have The Drownings, which is a book that I got myself from the 66 book club. I didn't get many books from that experience just because they had a lot of old books and they don't really store new books, and the ones that they had that were interesting I either already read or just wasn't interested in getting the physical. So this one I've never seen before. It's got very few reviews on Goodreads. This one takes place at a university campus in the north of England. We have, I believe, a main female character who's called Zara, and she wants to be the center of everything. Then we have Serena, who is an ex-champion swimmer. She struggles to find her place. And then they meet Jane, an ambitious postgrad obsessed with historic local witch trials. There are protests happening around the campus, cracks start to appear in Jane's stories where everything spirals out of control. So I was very intrigued, and not gonna lie, I do love the cover. Female power and rage, a dash of witch trials, a dash of drama, thriller, suspense, mystery. Yes. One that I got not a very long ago actually is Cruel is the Light, which is a YA fantasy, which when I read the idea and the theme and the concept, I was like, yes, right now. I am only 66 pages in, and I haven't picked it up again since because it's a little bit slow for me. However, I do think it might be that I'm just not in the mood for that kind of fantasy right now. It is romantasy, but it is YA, so there is more aspects of high fantasy. It's very confusing. There is a lot of politics and there's just a lot going on. So yeah, I left it for a minute, but I will pick it up again. The idea of this book is male demon, female exorcist, and it's all happening in Vatican. That's all I'm going to say. And I absolutely love the cover. Even the back, and it's got red sprayed edges, and it's got cute little chapter illustrations and everything. So now we have The Witch and the Priest, which is a funny story actually. So I received 2 copies of this. One was gifted by my sister over Christmas, which I've mentioned actually in so many of my previous videos. But recently, just last Saturday, we had Valentine's Day, and my beautiful husband gifted me this book as well. He has registered to Goodreads to find my TBR, and he didn't realise that I had the physical and the bookstore did. So he bought me this. Funny story to continue with that is I have posted one of the copies on Vinted, and my sister found a link on my Instagram and purchased it because she wants to read it. So we're gonna read this together. So I might not actually read this in February. That might be a March TBR. You might have seen that I've picked this for my February TBR, but I'm not sure if we're going to get to it because there are a lot of books that have squeezed their way into my TBR. Then another one that I have actually bought myself from Coffee with a Bookseller Experience. I picked that at the end actually by myself, and this one is vampire. So we have this servant and main female character who's a servant at this house in Madrid, and she is trying to make a better life for herself, I believe. Okay, so she has some secrets to do with her ancestry, and she needs to use her wit to win over fame and just love from everyone around her. And she apparently reaches out for help from an immortal person whose also secrets could basically doom both of them. So I did pick it for the cover, for the black edges, and just for vampire vibes. I'm sorry. From the same Coffee with a Bookseller Experience, I have picked Sunburn, which I did read. So this is happening in Ireland, and it's happening in the 90s. So it's very much 90s vibes, Irish kind of small families, and 2 female characters who are in love with each other, and they're fighting basically to be comfortable in that love. And they're both coming from very strict Catholic families. I believe both of them are. It is a very sad book. Not sad in a way that it's going to make you cry and like sob your heart out, but it's sad / angry, absolutely infuriating. Yeah, I totally felt it. I felt for them, and I just wish we could destroy the patriarchy. That's my final review. Shuggy Bane, I have not read yet. Tender, sad, and just beautiful in a way. I think this is again happening in Ireland. No, this is Scotland, so this is Glasgow. And I do go for books from time to time that will absolutely emotionally destroy me. So I had this recommended and I said absolutely yes straight away, and it has been listed for book awards, for the Booker Prize, Novel of the Year, Book of the Year, and it was actually the winner of the 2020 Booker Prize. So this year my goal is to read a lot more books that have either been nominated for awards or won Book of the Year awards. The Saint of Lost Things is a book that was gifted to me by my sister for Christmas. So she gifted me 3 books. This is the 3rd one. And this one is a little bit more of like a general fiction. I haven't read it yet. I have had a little peek, like maybe read 10 pages. And I believe it's on the level of Wedding People, but maybe not as funny. So this is happening in rural Ireland. Linda Morris, she's called the character. She's banished to a lonely bungalow with only her Auntie Belle and the TV for company. So I believe this is going to be like a self-discovery kind of moment where she realizes that life is not quite what she thought it was. So she kind of is forced to think about a lot of tragic moments that happened in her life. And she's trying to, I guess, be free and happy in a way in life. So this is what this vibe is, which I'm really looking forward to reading as well. Nightshade is a book I have bought for myself literally just 3 days ago, and I bought it because I read Nightshade last year and I absolutely ate it up. I loved it so much, it was so good, and I can't stop thinking about it and I really want to read it again. And I didn't have the physical. I really love the character art for this one. It's not very often that I actually like character art on front covers. A lot of character art I don't even really want to look at. We all believe that we imagine it better, don't we? So, but I'm very happy that I got this. It makes me really want to make an art print for them. So this is this, and I got Wedding People as well, and 2 other books. Wedding People I have gifted to my friend Tabitha, and she read it a few days later and she absolutely loved the novel. That is one emotional roller coaster. I think this is going to be one of those books that I wish I could read all over again for the first time with like all my memory erased. Let me know if you have read the whole series. The next book that I have bought with the voucher that I got for Christmas. So I got a voucher for Christmas off my husband for the books. So this is another one. This is one that I actually bought for my sister for her birthday last month, and I really like the idea of it, and I love Murakami books. Very excited. This is making me think of the Midnight Library, but obviously it's going to be much different, like so different and elevated, I feel, because Murakami is just a god. This is a book that I got from the Coffee with a Bookseller experience as well, and this is a gothic and startlingly good novel. For artist Nell, the island is her home and the source of inspiration for her art. This, I was already sold. I was like, yes, artist, like this is my job, my life. Gothic, oh my god, brilliant. A lot of, like, The Guardian says that her writing is of its own, that there's no other writing like that. That a lot of the writing is beautiful, unsettling and eerie, an intelligent, probing novel, a gorgeous, mysterious read. And you don't have to tell me more. So I'm very looking forward to this. The cover is also wonderful, and just anything gothic and I will nom 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 eat it up. Okay, let's move on to something like completely different. So these are books that I have bought recently with the Nightshade, and these are all romances, and I have bought these at the works. I have never read anything from Bailey Hannah, so I'm very looking forward to it. And this is a small town, I believe. You know, I'm here for that. We all are. So I'm looking forward to reading Bailey's writing, because I love me a small town, especially cowboy romance. This one is one that I have seen actually all over TikTok and BookTok and everything else. and this is A Thousand Boy Kisses. And Tilly Cole, I have also never read any of her books, but I've seen her everywhere. And this is long distance, where they're still in love and there is drama and sadness and just true love. It makes me think of A Letter to Whiskey, but yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that one. And then we have another small town cowboy romance, which is a little short one, but it's got a beautiful sprayed edge, and it is by Gemma Moore, and it's called Untamed Heart. So she came for a fresh start, falling for a cowboy was never part of the plan. I read that and I immediately added it to my basket. This is a charity shop find, so we have a local bookshop which is a charity bookshop, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it was the month of Valentine's and they had romances in the window. I saw the Spanish Love Deception and I was like, can I have that from the window please? Yes please. That's by Elena Adamas. I assume she's Spanish or Hispanic or Latina. So it's enemies to lovers, fake dating, romance. So there is a wedding in Spain. He's the most infuriating man. 3 days to convince your family you're actually in love. Now we're moving on to the next book that I have bought with my Christmas voucher for Waterstones, and it is Immortal. And I mean, I'm sorry, I love the cover, and I will say that this is the number one reason why I bought it. And Stephanie Garber said it is treacherously beautiful and dazzling romantic. So yeah, it's fantasy, super heavily inspired by China. So yeah, this is just like sat on my bookshelf like this because it's so beautiful. It makes me happy every time I look at it. Then we have another book that I have picked with the Christmas voucher, and I picked this one because it was on a little table at Waterstones, which was titled Waterstones debut fiction prize, and this one was shortlisted for that prize. I do not believe that it won the Waterstones debut prize, but it did win the Swedish Book of the Year award. And from my experience, when I've read anything written by a Swedish author, I absolutely loved and devoured the books and just how they spoke about life and the whole story. So I loved when I read the synopsis of the book. I absolutely loved the idea of it. Frederick Backman actually gave this book a review, and he said, the kind of book you give to someone when you're really trying to say, I've been thinking about you, but don't know how. So this is basically, I'm keeping that for the times when I need an emotional hug and I need a little cry. I need to reset my feelings. So this book is another book that I have picked through the Coffee with the Bookseller. This one was recommended to me by the actual bookseller, and I haven't read it yet, and I haven't read any Jodie books before. But this one is very much basically about how Shakespeare's work was actually all written by a woman, and William Shakespeare stole all of that work and made fame for himself. I actually had to I had a massive dilemma when I started to read Hamlet, because before I started the book, I started it because I went to see the movie and I needed to read the book. I wanted to anyway. I needed to read the book to then watch the movie, which I will be doing with Wuthering Heights as well. But I was stuck in a little bit of a pickle because I didn't know whether to read this, which is the conspiracy. It's not confirmed, is it? If it is, please let me know. But it's the kind of theory that all of Shakespeare's work was written by a woman. Do I read this first and then read Hamlet and try not to hate on it, or do I read Hamlet and then hate on Shakespeare? So I've done it the that way round, where I read Hamlet and this will come next. I don't know when I'm going to read it. That might come up in my February TBR, my March TBR. but it does have two main female characters in this, and there is a little bit of a plot and everything, and apparently it's beautiful, and it is also supposed to be a racy romance at the same time. So yeah, I am very excited for this. So this is extremely sweet. It's a blueberry matcha syrup concentrated vibe, and I am using oat milk. On top of that, it's barista oat milk, so yeah. I need to get new matcha powder, and I don't know which one to try. Let me know in the comments below if you love matcha as well, and which one you think I should buy next. Which one's your favourite? I am UK based, so would love a UK based company. I would absolutely love to get some matcha from Japan, but I don't know how, if there's maybe any businesses in the UK that supply Japan sourced matcha powders. Let me know. So these two books were acquired at the 66 book club as well, and this is something that we have done with my book club besties. We went together to 66 books. We have decided to do a Secret Santa moment, as we did this on the 6th of December. So we have chosen and bought books for each other, and bestie Lisa got me two books because she couldn't decide which one to pick, so she got me two. Hex, I have recently read. This is reviewed in my January wrap-up. I absolutely loved it. At some points I did have goosebumps, and I was like, what? Oh my god. You know, but head over to my January wrap-up video to see what the review was for this fully. And then she got me Immortal Dark, which is vampires. Again, I do not know much about this, but I am very much looking forward to reading this. Next, this was gifted to me by bestie Georgia, and she was getting rid of some books that she has read, and this is one book that I haven't read yet. So this I really want to read. This sounds super cozy and just like the nicest hug you have ever wanted to receive. I love that there is a different kind of theme in this, and it's just a very heartwarming book. So these are books that I have got when I went to visit my parents in Manchester, and I was driving back home, and I stopped at the services, and they gave me some money to buy myself books and a coffee, which I was like, okay. Yeah, I bought this in Manchester in Waterstones, and I bought this when I was buying a book for bestie Becca. I got her the new Bryn Weaver book. What is it? Tourist Season. So I bought her Tourist Season, and I got myself Lila Sage's book, Soul Searching. And when I tell you that I could be besties with Lila and listen to her ideas 24/7 and just live next to her with the whole cowboy ranchy vibe, I tell you, okay? I absolutely loved this. This was such a different vibe. I've never read anything like this in a different romance setting. The main female character can see and hear ghosts. Yeah, and there's not much else that you really need to know. Like, he's a carpenter, Brady. So yes, he is a carpenter, and he just fixes things all the time, and he fixes her heart at the end of the day and at the end of the book. So yeah, but there's a lot of mystery involved with this book to do with the ghosts that she's seeing in certain houses and places, and a lot of things are resolved and a lot of things are fixed. A lot of emotions and people are fixed, and 5 stars. Sociopath, I thought I have seen a book of the same title years ago when I still lived in Manchester, which was like 10 years ago. But no, apparently not. So I think I saw maybe something like Diary of a Sociopath. I'm a criminal without a record. I'm a master of disguise. I've never been caught. I have rarely been sorry. I'm friendly. I'm responsible. I am invisible. I blend right in. I'm a 21st century sociopath, and I've written this book because I know I'm not alone. So that'll be very interesting to read and understand the mind of a sociopath. Frida McFadden, we all know her, we all love her. I mean, maybe not all of us. I know there's been speculations and theories about her writing. I do not care. Her books always get me out of a slump, and yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Frida. How the hell do you do it, even if you're using AI as a full-time doctor? I don't know. Surrogate mother? 4 stars. That was banging, as usual. Twists and turns, things that you don't expect. Always like top recommended thriller author to people who don't know where to start. Read The Housemaid. The Housemaid will do it for you. And yes, and I saw the movie and I loved it. Great interpretation of the book. Oh wait, there's one more book I haven't picked out. Books that I forgot to add to this. This is a book that I have been gifted by my sister again for my birthday, I believe. And this one is witchy once again, which is something that I can always depend on from my sister. I haven't read this one yet, but when I read the synopsis when she gifted me this book, I was like, girl, am I excited. It's getting dark now, so I'm going to speed up. So this says it's a witch story unlike any other. So everything is being lost by this character. Her family, her love, her home, everything's all burned. The world is suspicious of women like her. Beautiful cover once again. And that is by Kirsty Logan, who I've never read anything by. So very looking forward. And I have also purchased for myself, by myself, 6 of Crows, because this is one series that I really would like to start as well. Just like Red Rising. Beautiful illustrations at the start of chapters. And I am just very, very excited because this I have heard wonderful things about. So this is a duology, which is wonderful. I love when there are no like 8, 6 books in a series and it's just 2 books and you can actually do it. Loving heist, kind of deadly heist vibes with magic and action. So yeah, this is making me think of Immortal Instruments in a way. Tell me if I'm wrong, I haven't read it yet, but this is the vibes I'm getting. Again, we have a map. Beautiful. That is it for this video, guys. I hope this wasn't too long. There were many books that we have gone through. I hope you have enjoyed your drink and I hope you have been cozy. If you have stayed until the end of this video, thank you so much. I appreciate it more than you think. Leave a comment down below if you have read any of these books that I have mentioned in today's video, and let me know if any of these books are on your TBR as well. I'll see you in the next video and I hope you have a great week. Bye.